Taxi vlog 296. First day of spring, 21st of March, 6:39 p.m. I'm beginning my shift, and this has to be configured my way, or I can't work. I hate beeps. This thing will stop as soon as it's good and you're good and annoyed with it. Okay, everything is in order. Everything is just fine. And now the beeping has stopped. And now we are gone. So, not much to really... As soon as one beep stops, another one begins. Yes, I need some psychiatric medicine. Psychotropic drugs to deal with all these beeps. Nothing coming, that's very good. Okay, logged and approved, let's book the zone. Maybe we'll be sitting for a while. Let's see. Yep, might be sitting for a while. Might get a call right away. Anything could happen. Oh, I know a couple of those guys. The weekend cars are on because it's Friday. Weekend cars are those that are allowed to work between 5 p.m. Friday night and 5 a.m. Saturday morning, and then 5 p.m. Saturday evening till 5 a.m. Sunday morning. Since they put those on, it has taken a slice out of our pie. Yes, it has. But I came out Monday night. It was St. Patrick's Day. Now, St. Patrick's Day is usually a big non-event for me because I don't work downtown. I don't usually sit in front of bars. I just do residential business. And, you know, my prophecy was correct until about 11 o'clock in the evening when I broke even. I'm going, okay, broke even at 11 o'clock, no big whoop. And then I got busy. Between midnight and 4, I think I made $160, $170, something like that. And I ended up the night doing very well. I had about $100 in overs for Interact. That is, there was more people paying with debit cards than I needed to cover the lease on the car. But that's okay. I made up for that in cash the last few nights. Tuesday we came out and there was one guy complaining that he didn't make any money, so he went home at midnight on St. Patrick's. He said 45 cars sitting and nobody working, and I can't make money that way. Well, you know, the rest of us all did. We had a very good night St. Patrick's Day, and I wasn't really expecting it. I only saw one person dressed up in flaming green. Everyone else was just normal, and it was just people going for me anyway, from house to house. No big celebration. Celebrations and festivals and things like that are usually kind of hush-hush in Victoria compared to places like Boston and Montreal, where, you know, it's a big deal, and they paint green stripes down the road and everybody's drinking green beer everywhere, and here there isn't that much of that. So yeah, the following night, this one guy, it pissed him off so much to hear that we all made money that he just put it in drive and drove away from us in the parking lot. He didn't want to talk to us anymore because we were rubbing it in or something. So, yeah, you know, the Tuesday also, it was really slow to begin with, and I started connecting once again around midnight, and I ended up having a fairly decent night. I'm going, oh, it's 2 in a row. Kind of nice to make more than a couple $100 on your first 2 nights of the week, especially if they are Monday and Tuesday. And Wednesday came along, and Wednesday was kind of the same story. It was dead at the beginning and quiet, and there wasn't a lot going on, and somehow after midnight I started connecting, and I had another night like that where I did well. That was 3 in a row. And the only thing about the Wednesday night that I noticed is that people were rougher and rowdier and drunker, just less well behaved. You know, they wanted to play the radio, and they were I don't know, they were a little more insulting, a little less polite, a little more unruly. Was that a delayed reaction to, you know, the last gasp of the influence of the full moon? I'll have to ask psychic Bob Hickman what he thinks about that. But, you know, whatever it is, they all paid. Some of them paid quite handsomely, but a couple of them had me a little bit scared and a little bit worried. Like, you know, when people are a little rowdy or a little too drunk or a little out of control, you never know what they're going to do next, and it's unpredictable, so you're kind of driving on pins and needles. But that night turned out well too. And then Thursday, well, Thursday was doing okay until about 11. I did all right. I broke even. I made a little profit. I think I had $10 on for myself. And then I sat for 3 hours. And at the end of that 3 hours, you know, during those 3 hours, I would get sent on calls, like to go pick up somebody. It's a police call, and I get there, or I'm almost there, and it's canceled before I even arrive. So the police call for a taxi. Maybe they might need one, sorta. I had the same thing happen on Tuesday too, where I was in a parking lot at a car dealership just down here, and I was sent to the gas station, which was right next door. I get to the gas station right next door, and it's a police call, so there's 2 police cars there, and I don't see anybody waving at me, so I park and I go up to the policeman. I said, "Hey, you guys called for a taxi. Who needs it?" He says, he looks around and goes, "Oh, standing here just a minute ago, I guess he doesn't need it so bad." I don't know, are they testing us? Are they calling us to see if we will respond to them right away? I don't know. But, yeah. And after sitting for 3 hours, I had a couple of short fares. You know, a little slap in the face $6 trip and another $10 trip. And then I sat in the parking lot with my buddy again, and we were chatting about shit, and then it got to the point where we didn't have anything to talk about anymore, so I was reading my book, Ben Bova, Leviathans of Jupiter. Really excellent stuff so far. Like every Ben Bova, the stories are kind of predictable, but they're fun. It's like a Western. You know the good guy's gonna win, but it's mind candy. It keeps my head going anyway, and it keeps me from getting bored, and it keeps me a little bit entertained, so that when I finally get a call and I get customers in my car, I'm in a good mood and I'm not grumping at them. And that's good for tips, and you know, that makes people want to call us again if I'm in a good mood. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. And while I was reading the Leviathans of Jupiter, he was playing a game on his phone. So I guess he was somewhat happy too, and then he got a call, and it went a good distance, and he came back and said, "Yeah, you know, I did all right. Went to View Royal. You know, from the bottom of Saanich to View Royal, it's pretty good. It's $25 fare. Can't complain there." So I was just sitting there going, "Oh well, you know, it would be really nice to have a 4 o'clock time call that went to the airport." Sure enough, at 3:50, I get a call that says 4 o'clock on it. It's not too far away, and it goes to the airport. So that was, you know, $55 at the end of my night. So instead of taking home 25, I take home 80. Big difference, you know, those 4 o'clock time calls can make. And of course, since it was Thursday night and Friday morning we have that day shift guy who starts at 5, so I got the car back into town just in time to fuel it up, vacuum out the rugs, and park it. And that's my week so far. Did I move up at all in that time? Let's see. Oh, I'm third now. I was fifth when I started. Okay, 61, 787, and 31. 31 is me, by the way. This is car number 31. In the last year, I drove car 72 and car 41, and I'm glad 41 is long history. That guy's getting into all kinds of trouble, you know, that thing. But I won't tell you about it because it doesn't impact me anymore, and I really don't care. So I'll get back to you either at the end of the shift out here in the car or at home relaxing and sipping on some scotch. I will see you sooner. Well, it's about 20 to 4 in the morning and I'm still out here. Hope you can see me. I got my coffee going again right here. Ooh, construction. Don't you love it when they do construction and there's little bits of asphalt and aggregate with tar stuck to it all over the road, and you can hear it when your tires hit it. I've had the kind of Friday night that really was rather disappointing at the beginning. It was very disappointing at the beginning. I was getting these stupid little trips and having to go long distances to go get them. And there were times when I had to go pretty far to get these short little trips, and then there was even time in between them, you know, waiting for stuff to happen. And I didn't have a long trip until, well, let's see. I didn't have a longer trip until later on. But, you know, there I was at 11 o'clock going, I've only got $130 on. And usually by 11 o'clock it's, you know, about $40 or $50 more than that. And it's kind of depressing, you know, and discouraging when, you know, midnight comes along and you only got like 150. It's like, So at 11:30 I had, about 150, and then I had this one $30 fare where I took 3 guys to 3 different places. You know, we took one. No, that's not that trip. That's the one where I got sent to the back of the Accent Inn, and then there were these 2 boys in the shadows, and they're motioning for me to turn around, and I say, well, was it you that called? And he said, yeah. He said, we're going to, and he's showing me the address on his phone, and I can't see his fucking phone. I have to put these on so I can see the kid's phone and what's written on it. And what was written on it was somewhere up on Torquay Drive. So we're heading up to Torquay Drive. It's a good distance, you know. It's a $20 fare from where we were, and that's all right. And then we got there, and they picked up these 2 girls from there, and they were going back to the university. So it's another $10 from Torquay to the university. So like I scored a $30 fare. And I've had a few good ones after that. I've had a couple, $15, $20, $25 fares. I had one just before where I picked up these guys from a get-together. They were like from a baseball team, I guess an amateur baseball team, and they were at a team meeting or something like that. And two of the guys got out when we were at about $8 on the clock, and the other one said, when those two guys got out, the last one left saying, I'm going to, and he gives me an address. Meanwhile, the guy who had climbed out leaned back in, and he said, I'm going to pay my buddy's cab here. Here's $35, is that enough? And I'm going, wow, that's more than double what it's going to cost to get the guy where he's going. So I take the guy where he's going. I should shut that off. And we got to our destination, and it was only like $15 on the clock, and I've got 35 in my hand, and the guy says, well, what do I owe you? No, you don't owe me anything. He said, what do you mean I don't owe you anything? I said, your buddy paid for the cab. Don't worry, it's paid for, it's covered. You sure? Oh yeah, it's covered. I mean, I could have got away with that. I could have made an extra $20 on top of that from off of this guy. But no, I don't like taking advantage of people. It's just not right. I wouldn't like it to happen to me. What if I'm drunk one night and some asshole rips me off? I wouldn't like it. So I generally do unto others as I would like to have them do unto me. And when I go to a restaurant or something, I will give a 30 or sometimes even 40% tip to the waiter or waitress, because if they did a job well, I know how hard it is to earn tips. It's not easy. So where were we going with that? Oh, look, there's somebody waiting for me in the parking lot.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I found it to be somewhat disappointing tonight.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I got about 350 on now, but fuck, that was a hard 350.
It was very much so.
Especially the first 200 of it. It was all $8 and $9 fares. And, ugh.
Yep, I had the same shit.
Only started to do better after midnight. Oh man. I hope yours is better than mine.